Okay, we are live now with Monday Mojo. Welcome everybody to Monday Mojo. I am Adam Roach. I am your host today. I'm always your host every Monday Mojo. Today I'm going to talk to you about our upcoming I Love Coaching course called Multifamily. No, it's called, well, here's the website, masteryofmultifamily.com. This is Jonathan Wells coming to you and his wife coming to teach you for 6 weeks on the value and the importance of investing in multifamily and in the syndication space also. And I want to come to you today with Monday Mojo in the space of myself, Adam Roach, and my fears around getting involved with multifamily before I got involved. And yes, I'm actually sitting down for the first time on Monday Mojo. I'm just sitting in my office, right? I've got a great view of the water out in front of me. And Caroline came in here and she said, Adam, you need to do multifamily Monday Mojo. So here we are. So I've got a page of notes here and I want to share these with you. When John and I did an event this past Saturday, we were talking about our limiting beliefs in the space of multifamily before we got involved. And if you don't know anything about multifamily investing, let me break it down to you simply. If you go buy a single family residence, that is a single family residence. You get one family that goes into that residence, and that's called single family investing. Anything over 2 is called multifamily, so 3+. And here were some of the benefits that John had said on our conversation this past Saturday, which I believe is recorded somewhere. I'm sure we'll be sending it out to you. Nevertheless, go to our Instagram page and you'll see some of his snippets of what he said last Saturday. However, here's the simplicity of multifamily investing when it comes to that. He says, if you have a tenant move out and you have 3 or more tenants, you still have tenants. Duh, no joke there, right? However, I never thought of the simplicity in that. I've owned single family residents before, and I did pray that they would pay their bills every single month. I did pray that they would stay in that unit every single month and per their contract, right? And John said on Saturday, one of the reasons why I love multifamily is if someone moves out, I still have tenants. It's just called a vacancy rate. It increases your vacancy rate. So one of the things that I talked about and thought about prior to our call on Saturday was, what are the 3 things that I was intimidated by in multifamily before I got involved? The very first one was the size of deals. And I'll go into a little bit of detail here. The size of deals. I looked at deals as it relates to multifamily in the millions and millions and millions of dollars spaces and in the hundreds and hundreds of units in a deal. And I overwhelmed myself. I scared myself thinking, how am I going to afford a $10 million purchase property of multifamily? How am I going to manage 100 units, 150 units? Sure, I've been in real estate for nearly 20 years, and I knew I wasn't going to be managing them. But literally the thought of paying or giving that to a management company and paying the management company just seemed astronomical to me. And John said on Saturday that some of his investors actually taught him that 64 units should be where you start. And then he went on to say, they said 64 is because they know you won't do 64 and you'll probably do half, which would be 23. But nevertheless, a 23 deal is a lot more manageable. And then he went into correcting me and thinking, Adam, here's where you made the mistake. You made the mistake in thinking that you had to use your own money. Sure, you probably weren't going to be able to afford a $10 million multifamily deal. And this was his language, and you'll hear it on our Instagram, I Love Coaching Instagram page. And he says, lazy investors use their own money. We talked for nearly 40 minutes on that call on Saturday. And when he said that, now we've heard that before from Robert Kiyosaki, other people's money, right? We've heard that from many other spaces, but that is the one that really caught me by surprise in his language is lazy investors use their own money. Hence syndication. Right? The syndication portion of multifamily is just that. You syndicate the deal out, which means you go raise money to buy that property. Sure. Now, again, there's many calculations when it comes into multifamily, and I'm not going into details of that right now. I'm just giving you a really, really high macro language of this on Monday Mojo here. And it's just simple. right? It's simple in this space that when you see an asset, when you see an opportunity, there's two sides to the story there. And what that means is you've got the general partners, right? And John said the general partners go out and that's your team. And your team is going to be made up of the people that raise the money, the people that find the deals, and the people that can go get the financing, right? And maybe a few other people. That'll be the general partners. The limited partners will have just that limited partnership in the deal, but they're going to be giving the money for a portion of the down payment. And that's so brilliant. Lazy investors use their own money. Genius, genius, genius. The second thing that I was talking about with one of my limiting beliefs was money, right? Is again, seeing a $10 million, let's just go simple. Let's go to a $5 million multifamily deal. I thought, how in the world am I going to be able to afford that deal? And again, lazy investors use their own money. And the last part that I had with my limiting belief was understanding all the lingo when it came to multifamily. Again, I've been in real estate for quite a while, but some of that language was completely different than I had ever heard. And it was intimidating, right? It was definitely intimidating from the standpoint of wanting to get involved, because why? We coach this all the time. What do people want? What do people want to be? They want to look good and they want to be right? What is that? That's called your ego. Get your ego out of the way here on Monday Mojo and learn and get engaged with other who's, right? And this is my biggest takeaway from John and I's conversation on Saturday. Size of deals, money, and understanding the lingo. I wrote down that was all the how-tos to get involved with multifamily, when all I really needed to do was find a who. And that who for me so far has been Mr. Jonathan Wells. He's going to be teaching a class, actually 6 different classes for the next 6 weeks. And if you have any interest in learning about investing in multifamily, increasing your net worth through limited exposure, increasing your net worth with passive income through deals such as getting involved with multifamily, you need to go to masteryofmultifamily.com and go register right now. John said on our call on Saturday that he's invested over $100,000 to gain the knowledge that he has. He's been doing this for just under 10 years. And actually, it's a lot less than that. He's at 3,000 doors already. 400 of those 3,000, he's on the general partner side, which means he's been 100% involved in either finding the money, finding the deal, and or getting the financing. And the other portion, that's his limited side, right? That's his limited partner side where he took his money, invested it in other opportunities of multifamily, and now he's just collecting paychecks as they do distribution. So go to masteryofmultifamily.com and go register for this course. It's only $397. It does start tomorrow. We will record it. And if you miss a class, that's okay, because you're going to have access to all the recordings from the start of the class when it's finished all the way to the last class forever. So you'll have that valuable information at your fingertips, and you'll have the downloadables that he gives. Is downloadables a word? The downloads that he is going to give in this course. This is worth way more than $397. There probably should be a few zeros at the end of that. However, I Love Coaching is bringing you value, and this is what we want you to go get. So go check it out, masteryofmultifamily.com. Go register. It does start tomorrow, and we hope to see you in there. If you have any questions, let me pull up Facebook here. I did not look to see if there are any questions that were popping up. Let me go find you guys here real quick. Groups. This is the community. Let me see if we have anything. Nope, nothing right now. Okay. So go to masteryofmultifamily.com, go register today. If you want to use this in your offices, go use this, right? What I mean by that is use one registration, go get all your agents to watch. If you have a team, go do the exact same thing. Go have one registration, let your team watch. Let them watch the recordings. If you don't come to any of them for the next 6 weeks, that's fine. At least you'll have this as a resource and value for yourself and for anybody that's in your organization. MasteryMultifamily.com. That'll be John Wells teaching a class on multifamily investing and syndication. That's all I have for you. See you. Bye.